Hi, my name is Saranam. I'm a spiritual healer in Mount Shasta, California. And in this video, I want to tell you a little bit about how I came to be a spiritual healer. I started off my life completely in the box. I don't have any stories of being awakened as a child like some people have. As far as I can tell, right from an early age, I was very motivated to please my parents and my teachers, and I just kept chasing that carrot of success and the approval that came with it right through the education system all the way up till college, until I ended up with a degree in business administration, with honors, of course. But at the end of college, I started having some awakening experiences. The trees were the first to awaken me. I started feeling the life force in the trees, and I realized that there was more to life than what I had been taught, so I started looking for it. First, I philosophically, began questioning the values I had grown up with until I realized that they had no real foundation. There was no intrinsic meaning in any of them. They were all constructs, all agreements or assumptions of the society. And so I started reading everything I could on spirituality and religion and psychic development. I started meditating a lot. And after a short time, because I had the ability, I was drawn to do healing work. In my mid-20s, I started practicing healing work, of course, at a much lower level than I do now. And at first, I couldn't see anything. Just kinesthetic, absolutely had to feel my way through all the healing work that I did. But still, it was a beginning, and I had some limitations, especially because, I brought with me some of this ego-driven desire for success that I had grown up with, and if I wasn't going to be a great business success, then I had to be a great success as a healer or as a renunciant, because at one point I gave up all my possessions and was just traveling in faith with no money. So whatever I did, that ego part of me kept coming with me. And I went on like this for many years. At one point I took a trip to Israel, and when I came back from that trip, I started being attacked by dark entities in my dreams. And I didn't know what to do. So I started battling with them, fighting them off. It was all I could think of. And I went on like that for years and years, battling with these dark entities. And when I moved to Hawaii, a lot of the healing work I did there was battling with other people's dark entities, a kind of healing practice that you see in some tribal societies. So anyway, I was doing my healing work at that lower level for many, many years. I finally ended up on the island of Kauai in a little house just 200 feet from the ocean, with my family. I had a young daughter at that time and an older daughter, and I was very attached to that life. Again, still a lot of ego attachment, and I had all but given up my healing work because it was so expensive to live there that I was working all the time selling jewelry that my wife made just in order to, keep my head above water. And still, I was so attached. Anyway, at one point, a faith healer, a spiritual Christian faith healer, came to town. My wife wanted to go see him, so I went with her, but I was very, reluctant, skeptical, so I sat in the back and just observed while, she went up and, had the experience of the healing. It was one of those faith healers who calls on the Holy Spirit and people fall down. But I could see that something genuine was happening. I could see that my wife had had a genuine experience. So the next night I went back by myself. But on this night, whereas before it was like a packed house full of people, there were only about 20 people who came. And because it was a small group, the faith healer said, well, tonight I'm going to do something different. Tonight I want you to pray, God, I will do whatever you want me to do. I will go wherever you want me to go. And the faith healer said he would call on the Holy Spirit to remove whatever obstacles were in our life that were keeping us from doing that. Well, that really called me out. I said, well, yeah, that is what I want to do. And so I went up. I went up with that prayer very sincerely in my heart that I wanted to serve God in whatever way I could. that I would go wherever he wanted me to go, do whatever he or she wanted me to do, and so I received the blessing of the Holy Spirit that faith healer was offering. It didn't cause me to fall down, but still, I received it, and it was a witness to my sincere prayer. And that moment changed my life, because after that, I let go a lot of my ego attachments. And whereas I had been so resistant to move because I'd been so attached to living in Hawaii, I finally said to my wife, okay, I'll move. She had been wanting to move for some time. And we moved to what in Hawaii we call the mainland here in the United States, the continental United States. And we had a difficult time. It didn't make life easier for us right away following that guidance. We had a lot of financial struggle, a lot of difficulty. But after a few years, after about 3 years, slowly improving our financial situation, we got the guidance to move here to Mount Shasta. And that's when things really started expanding for me. I was still being attacked by dark entities, but when I came here, I got spirit guidance not to fight with them anymore, but instead to look right through the false form, this frightening form that the entity was presenting, and find the pure soul within it, and to connect from my pure soul to its pure soul with a little beam of light, a little beam of love, and then gradually expand that beam wider and wider until it just dissolved the false form of the entity and dissolved its influence upon me. And of course that took my healing level to a much higher level. Now before I was just kind of fighting at the same level as the entities, and this brought me a level above them. And of course I've had other lessons since I've been here. Mount Shasta is an incredibly transformative place. But mostly I wanted to share that story about how when I got to that point where I was willing to do whatever God or Spirit or Divine Mother, however you see that, Source wanted me to do, and go wherever it wanted me to go, that's when things really started happening for me. That's when, I really came to this path fully as a spiritual healer. And it's my firm belief that when you get to that certain level of awakening or self-realization, it's not an imposed thing. It becomes your natural desire. All you want to do then is to help other people in whatever way you can with the natural gifts and abilities that you've been given. And of course you start receiving spirit guidance to find out what those gifts are and how you can develop them. And I've received a lot of guidance like that. So that's what I wanted to share. I hope that gives you a better idea about who I am and maybe gives you some inspiration on your life path. Here in the corner I will share another video I made with some help and tools for empaths, if you're the kind of person who's very sensitive to other people's energy. And if you'd like to contact me or want more help or information about me, please visit my website, which is saranam.us, saranam.us. I'll share a link down here for that. All right, many blessings, and I hope this helps you on your spiritual path.